Feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three. So the European League just leaked Caitlin Clark's first minutes. They did it with the biggest grin. Why wouldn't they? When you've just scored the lottery without even trying, it's worth a celebration. Update. It could have been even better. You messed it up. And when I say the dumbest people alive, oh yeah, I mean the WNBA. They basically gift-wrapped their golden goose, Caitlin Clark, and handed her over on a silver platter to the EuroLeague. If that's not the pinnacle of stupidity, I don't know what is. Continue. And from the sounds of this interview, it seems like she's probably going to make more money overseas in EuroLeague than she did during this WNBA season. The commissioner told her that she could make $700,000 playing in the WNBA. Caitlin must be breathing easy now because let's face it, she's finally free from the constant brutality she was forced to endure. No more random hip checks out of nowhere. No one trying to gouge her eyes like it's some kind of contact sport horror show. Continue. She can actually focus on basketball now, while the WNBA is probably sitting in a corner, wondering what on earth just happened. The game in Europe is almost better than the game in the NBA. So Caitlin Clark just dipped on the WNBA. And let's be honest, can you blame her? The WNBA pretty much fumbled the bag, and now Europe is out here flexing like they just won the lottery. And they did. The European League is practically rolling out the red carpet for Clark, while the WNBA is left scrambling. Update. Wondering how they managed to lose their brightest star. But hey, it's what happens when you treat your top talent like some rookie off the bench. Being in the WNBA through marketing this and that, I don't know what Kathy was talking about, because even the highest paid player in the WNBA currently makes a little over $200,000 in salary. First off, let's talk money. Because the WNBA sure wasn't. Clark was making what? Huge news. A grand total of $76,000 to $78,000 in her rookie season. That's it. Meanwhile, Europe is ready to hand her a bag big enough to make WNBA execs cry. I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars more. And guess what? In Europe, they actually take care of their players. Housing, transportation, taxes, they cover it all. Yeah, you heard that right. The WNBA couldn't even throw in a free bus pass. Continue. But Europe? They've got Clark living like royalty. With the WNBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season. But with all of the drama currently surrounding the WNBA on top of the low-paying salaries, some of these players are questioning if they'll even return. Now, Kathy Engelbert and the rest of the WNBA Brain Trust are sweating bullets. What do they even have left without Clark? Oh, that's right, nothing. Update. This is the same league that had Clark pulling in fans by the millions, bumping up their viewership by 142%, and now she's gone. Just gone. And for what? A measly $300,000 over 4 years? Caitlin Clark has now broke that glass ceiling, and they should be bowing at her. She's going to create jobs and money. That's laughable when you compare it to what the European League is offering. And don't even get me started on Ice Cube, throwing out a $5 million offer for her to play 10 games. Update. 10 games, that's more than Clark would have made in 4 full WNBA seasons. Honestly, if I were her, I'd pack my bags too fast. Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games, and so it's kind of sad that through all of that, Caitlin was still advocating for players on the other team to get bonuses, because she saw the kind of money and eyeballs and viewership that all of this was generating. And let's not pretend it's just the money, though. Update. The EuroLeague has something the WNBA couldn't even dream of, an actual season. While the WNBA barely limps through a few months in the summer, Europe is running from October to April, giving Clark more time to play, grow and compete at a high level. And guess what? The competition in Europe? Way tougher. The WNBA might as well be a pickup game at this point compared to the intensity Clark's about to face overseas. Update. Europe's over there sharpening their swords while the WNBA is stuck playing patty cake. To hell with the WNBA. They're nothing, They're nothing. They're nobody. No one's watching. They lost 50 mil. So the European League just dropped Caitlin Clark's first minutes. And let me tell you, Europe hit the jackpot. Meanwhile, the WNBA is sitting there probably in a corner somewhere, trying to figure out how they let their brightest star slip away. Honestly, whatever they did to Clark should be considered a crime against basketball. Update. The WNBA fumbled so hard. It's like they were begging Europe to take her. And Europe? Well, they couldn't be luckier if they tried. I understand she hadn't played in the league yet, but at least the popularity and the interest around it. They now have Caitlin Clark, the Caitlin Clark. And the WNBA is left with a giant hole where their only exciting player used to be. Oh, and let's not forget the endorsements. Update. Clark's not just racking up points on the court, she's about to rake in cash off the court too. Europe's a whole new ball game when it comes to sponsorships and brand deals. Clark's about to be on every billboard from London to Paris, while the WNBA is over here asking, what went wrong? How about everything? You had Caitlin freaking Clark and you let her slip through your fingers. Europe didn't even have to try hard. They just offered her what she deserved. Continue. That sounds like a dream. Traveling around Europe and playing basketball. Like we went to Paris for the EuroLeague Championship. Now let's talk about what Europe is getting. Unlike the WNBA, which basically feels like the same old song and dance every game, the EuroLeague is a real competition. It's not just American players going head-to-head. It's top-tier talent from powerhouse countries like Russia, Turkey, Spain, and France. The WNBA could never. Continue. Clark is about to go up against teams that play tough, gritty basketball. None of that soft WNBA nonsense. In Russia, it's all about brute force. She's gonna have to toughen up and start bodying people, and I can't wait to see her handle that. Then you've got Turkey, where the game is slick, fast-paced, and all about those quick plays. Forget the WNBA's plotting pace. Continue. Clark's about to step into a basketball masterclass. There could be a world where more of these private-owned EuroLeague teams. I could see some of these teams going after some of our star players in the WNBA. And if the money makes sense, if the business aspect makes sense, we could lose more players to playing overseas. And get this, the EuroLeague is all about teamwork, precision, and actual strategies. Continue. Can you imagine Clark in a league where players don't just stand around waiting for one star to carry the game? She's going to have to adapt to the kind of basketball that actually matters. The WNBA might as well be a pickup game at this point, compared to what she's about to experience in Europe. People don't always share all of the good things that they're doing, and Caitlin by no means had to do this. Let's not forget the EuroLeague's history either. They've been doing this since 1958, before the WNBA even existed. Continue. Legends like Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart thrived here, and Clark is about to join that legacy, except she's going to do it better. Clark is stepping into basketball royalty, and the WNBA can only watch from the sidelines and wonder what could have been. Because Russia paid Diana Taurasi at that time $1.5 million salary to play in Russia. Now at the time in the WNBA, the salary, like the highest salary in the league, was $107,000. Continue. And the fans? Oh, they're buzzing. European basketball fans are some of the most intense, passionate fans out there, and now they get to watch Caitlin Clark light up their courts. The comparison to Kobe Bryant's legendary European tours is already being thrown around, and for good reason. This is a huge moment for European basketball. Fans in Russia, Turkey, Spain, these people already pack arenas for the game, and now they've got a superstar like Clark to root for. Continue. The energy is about to hit a whole new level. Meanwhile, back in the US, WNBA fans are stuck watching. What exactly? Without Clark, they've got nothing to look forward to. She was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. They were turning. The Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games. Speaking of the WNBA, let's talk about the viewership nosedive they're about to experience. Continue. Clark single-handedly pulled in more viewers than the league has seen in years. Her games with the Indiana Fever were averaging 1.18 million viewers per game. Let that sink in. The WNBA overall was pulling just 394,000 viewers per game, and Clark was more than tripling that. But now she's gone. No one was tuning in for anyone else. They were there for Clark, and without her, good luck keeping people interested. Continue. Okay, they have the highest audience they've seen in 24 seasons and the WNBA games. Televised games with Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever averaged 1.18 million viewers, compared to 394,000 for all other games. There were a record 22 games that averaged over 1 million viewers. The proof was already there during the playoffs. Ratings dropped nearly 50% when Clark wasn't on the court. The first game between the Aces and the Liberty, only 929,000 viewers. Continue. That's down from over 1 million when Clark was playing. The WNBA is going to feel her absence like a gut punch, and they deserve every bit of it for letting her slip away. All of this just nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong, when in my personal opinion she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night. Clark was the league's lifeline, and now she's taking her talents and the fans that came with them over to Europe. And Europe? Well, continue. They're about to capitalize on this like no one's business. The EuroLeague already had a strong fan base, but now with Clark in the mix? Forget about it. Sold-out arenas in Russia and Turkey. That's just the beginning. The European basketball scene is about to blow up, and Clark is going to be right at the center of it all, putting on a show that the WNBA could never hope to match. And the WNBA, they can sit back, watch, and cry about what they've lost because it's never coming back. Continue. The WNBA has had its chance, but they seriously blew it. They put Clark in the same box as everyone else, slapped a tiny paycheck in her hand, and expected her to stay. She's a superstar, not just some role player they can toss around. And now that Europe has her, they're not letting go. Update. All of this just nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from fans but from competitors, coaches. All of these people. So WNBA, enjoy your empty seats and sad ratings. Maybe next time you'll know how to treat a player like Clark, but oh wait, there won't be a next time. She's Europe's treasure now. Huge news. The WNBA can keep crying about it while the EuroLeague gets to watch Clark drop buckets and break records. Good job, WNBA. You really outdid yourselves this time.